jungle, Xin the Hecarim, and the Trundle with the last ban. So Arthur's going to look a little deeper down his champion pool. This is the player that I was talking a lot about on day one. Player that led the charge for Chiefs down in the LCO. And he's going to have to try to find someone to disrupt BYG to keep Chiefs hopes alive.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Arthur can put the team on his back. Right now, Chiefs not only looking for the first win in this tournament, but also this year for Oceania, with Order in MSI going 0-8. They have not found a win at international competition yet this year. A lot of people were very excited about Chiefs for how much they dominated in summer, split their own region, put some expectations on them that they should be able to make a little bit of noise in the group stage, and not finding a win yet. Definitely feeling tough for them. They pivot off the Ahri. I thought they might go for this very scrappy comp where you have this Xin Zhao running between top and mid, trying to make fights happen. Still a similar idea, but a little bit more controlled than what Jet, I think it was, who on the desk was looking for from Tally, having a roaming mid laner.
I mean, the thing that I also really like about that Weaver's Wall can be hugely influential in kind of a similar way to what the Nature's Cross can do in terms of disrupting a fight, stopping engages, like really slowing things down. So it can be used to great effect in any of those objectives. And with the Alistar now locked in, we've got the two team compositions secured. How do the respective teams want to win their games?
I think for the side of Chiefs, it's about getting mid-jungle 2v2 prio and then roaming into side lanes where you're probably making dives happen with that Leona or with the Ken, and both of them have incredible CC in your side lanes to make things go. For Beyond, they have very good scaling. We've seen Ezreal starting to get played a little bit now. Obviously becomes disgusting over time, especially if you can land your Qs for Wako. And then the Sylas scales well. Maokai scales extremely well. The Aatrox has become pretty threatening as he gets more and more items. He gets these insane resetting team fights, and even just on one item with clips now, it's just a strong champion all game long. That's kind of why his highest presence in the tournament.
Very, very powerful. Mark, can I play a little quick stat game with you?
You can try.
How many games has Tally played professionally? Give me a round up to the nearest 10.
Give me a 30-second.
No, I said guess. You can't check.
I can't
guess. Guess.
370.
That's actually not bad. 300 professional games rounded up. Do you want to know how many of those games are Talia? I'll tell you. 2. And he won both of them. They were from this
100% win rate, baby!
That's what I wanted to hear. Now, to be fair, a lot of the Chiefs' win rates are at 100% from this summer because they did only drop that single game.
And I will say, to defend him a little bit,
Yeah.
his Swain has been getting banned first side now. On no matter what they're doing, enemies will ban that out. And I know he didn't dominate with that champion specifically, but it was his most played in summer, and did play it a couple times on the world stage, and people saw enough good from it that they said they wanted to take it away from him. And unfortunately for Chiefs, there's sometimes this critical mass that you can hit in draft where there's just too many pocket picks. They have to start leaving something through. It doesn't feel like that's the case for Chiefs right now, so they can keep removing Tally's best champion and one of the best champions for Chiefs as a whole, and there's nothing that they were able to find that punishes that kind of high prioritization where most people just let Swain go through.
I mean, I think that Swain as well is definitely another one of those sort of sleeper picks that we're seeing pop up a little bit more. I think Mad Lions used it for a win earlier today. It was banned out by the Evil Geniuses when they targeted Chiefs, as you mentioned already. That sort of favored pick. But right now on the Talia, we'll be facing down against the Sylas. I mean, he's going to be looking to push in as you would anticipate until that threat volley can work. And right now, we're already seeing just defensive start from BYG.
Yep, I think Beyond's going to play this one pretty safe for the entire game. We've seen a couple times now where teams feel like that they have the advantage. There's a lot to play for. They start going for safer, sturdier picks. I do want to comment on the Aatrox comment because I was trolling Reddit last night and I saw some people wondering about why you do it. One reason is the comment itself. Obviously, if you're just going to be into range matchups, you can land your Q1 tipper. That knockup will guarantee that the comment lands and allows you to get some decent trades throughout what is usually a pretty tough lane phase. The other thing is in the first tree, getting the nullifying orb. Knowing that you might get dove, you might see ganks come your way, being able to negate some of that burst that the Kennon's able to throw down, stuff like that. Nimbus Cloak with your ultimate as well. People often you go flying in there, stuff like that.
I mean, when you combine that also with the damage that's going to come out from that 3-talent strike, audacious charge from Arthur on that Xin Zhao, I mean, it definitely makes sense. Right now, Wacko and Kino, they're going to be a little bit later to lane. They did stick around and help Hush out just for a brief moment at Kai'Sa and Leona. They'll try to bully as much as they can. That's where Kino decides to move around the map. As Tapoon already starting to chuck down those autos. He's got himself that Q already leveled up, and Young taking a lot of damage. Zenith Blade tagged out. This is level 1 fight. Aladaric is losing this trade quite dramatically. However, trading a little bit of HP on Wacko.
Yeah, getting some trades, knowing that they're going to hit the level 2 power spike first. Sometimes you can, find that angle where you get in, get that right as you kind of fly in there, but just trading out evenly, getting some pressure in the bot lane. We also have the fact that Arthur started top 2 bots clear, means that you want to get Cryo down there. Maybe they can set up an early roam out of Tally or something.
All right, now, Husha's going to start on that red buff. I'm keeping a close eye on the positioning from Arthur. I'm sure if you have watched the Chiefs games already, you know that he was by far and away the best jungler from the LCO. And as far as Chiefs were concerned, the super team, they only dropped that single game all summer long. All year, because of just the 2. Instead, Arthur's now already on that screen. Decided to peel backwards. All 3 lanes are pushing into Beyond, so there's not a huge amount of options for Arthur laning-wise, hence the reason he's going blue buff.
And that's kind of what we're talking about with Beyond playing this more defensive style in this game, knowing that they're not going to be able to win early on. Does give Chiefs the opportunity to call their own plays. Wow. Like with that Tally on the early move.
Marcus is exactly what you wanted to see. They fancy the dubs, not enough minions. Not going to risk that one yet. Also exhaust and cleanse, respectively, for Kino and Wacko. So I like the sort of idea here from Chiefs. At least they are showing that they've got control of this early phase.
And, I mean, it's tough against an Alistar to make that level 2 dive happen.
Exactly.
And that's also, I think, why you saw Alador going in aggressively. Make the lane states volatile, put people at low HP. Makes ganks easier. People are already starting the gank at half health. Easier to finish off.
Minji step forward with that one. Flash is still available to him. Sapling toss could be helpful. Aladoric is looking to sidestep. Flash up. It's going to be forcing away Minji, and that's not going to be successful. However, pressure again, movement around the map. Every single member of Chiefs contributing.
Yeah, really nice start for Chiefs. The fact that Aladoric kind of got broken out of the lane phase as well with the early pressure from Arthur and Tally. He kind of repays that favor. Flashing for Flash in the mid lane means that there's potential now for Tally if he can land a flick, or Arthur just wants to flash on top of him. Minji will be exposed in the mid lane, and for Leona, having Hex Flash, probably the best one to give it up. I thought for a second Arthur was going to go Flash W when becomes Lightning. Pretty telegraphed, so with this one, you know, having that flash still on Arthur, whereas Aladoric in lane phase can still set up ganks with Hex Flash.
Yeah, I really prefer that on the Leona as well. We know that Aladoric, I mean, that level 1 engage is already signaling. The thing I always try to, like, interpret how the teams play, how emboldened they are to make those decisions, because it gives you a tiny bit of insight into sort of their mindset or their mentality to a degree, right? Now, this is a team that has also dominated significantly through the LCO by doing exactly that sort of thing. And Kino, gonna try jump onto Tabuni. Still got Flash, still got that Ian. Will not get caught out just yet, so easy escape.
Yeah, that ward spotting him just in time, right before it timed out. Kino gave a bit of an advance warning for Tapoon to know to start running away right when Liang went for that first Q1, so gets out of there safe. But I liked your point about the mindset, because when you are a team that wins so much and then you go to international stage and you start taking losses, not just on stage presumably, but having tougher scrim sets and things like that, it can be hard sometimes to preserve your identity. You are used to smurfing on people. You're used to being able to play aggressive. And the fact that Chiefs in this all-important game are still playing aggro.
Well, there's the engagement. Becomes Lightning. Zenith Blade. Double Bramble Smash. The headbutt backwards. Arthur does get taken down. First blood secured by Minji, and Kino's the next target. Aladori can't stick to him. Tally has got no rocks to throw. Only the single threaded volley. Seismic shove comes backwards, but can Tally the King be slayed by Minji? Throws out the minefield and they escape. 2-0 to Beyond in a 1,300 gold lead.
Beyond just sniff out that play in the mid lane. There's a ward you can see kind of on the ramp into blue buff that in the river can spot the move by Aladoric that allows Beyond Gaming to kind of camp, knowing that that pressure is going to be coming from Minji's flash. Everyone knows that's the mini objective for this game right now, is the fact that, all right, Minji doesn't have flash, Chiefs are going to want to go mid. Good vision by Kino, good roams, knowing where he needs to be to turn that 3v3 in their favor.
Yeah, that means that Chiefs, in a do-or-die game, lose this, you're eliminated from playoffs, cannot advance. The LCO will then go to 0-13, 0-12 on the year. And this is how it started. I mean, Chiefs of the Rome, they were hunting Minji.
Yeah, they saw Aladoric moving up the river, so they know that they want to target Minji. It's about being here at the right time. Nice flick by Tally to set this up, but the CC that comes in from Alistar and Maokai's gross, plus the Maokai Q knocked them behind them, which gave the free headbutt for Kino to put them under turret. Might have been scrappy if not for that. If it's just a straight 3v3, I think Chiefs have better damage for fighting, but because they were able to land just better CC combos, they won that one so decisively.
I'm pretty confident the moment that Audacious Charge landed, there was one small forward step from Husha, and he got that Bramble Smash. I mean, it was just so nicely done. And it allows the fact that Minji Silas gets 2 kills secured already. You've talked about the ultimates that he can steal. There are a number, like literally other than Weaver's Wall, every single one of his ultimates is going to have gigantic impact in team fights, and he's already the member that's being played.
We've seen a lot of Silas this tournament. Some people going so far as to first pick it no matter what's up. It's a champion that when they get going, it's pretty tough to stop a Silas. He scales so well. The AP ratios on his kit are actually disgusting.
I think hijacked solar flare is, in my opinion, the most OP of all the ulti that he can see. Yes, the slicing maelstrom's great, but that is conditional on him either landing the chains or, you know, them being on top of him. But every time I see a hijacked solar flare just being fired to, like, literally Death Star laser beam someone to death, it brings me just sadness.
I mean, so the alt ratio conversion thing is what a lot of people often talk about, but his W has a 90% AP ratio on the damage. There's also the healing portion as well that you can get into. 100% AP ratio on the second part of his E, and his Q has a 40 and a 90 on the two different portions.
Those numbers are huge. The Zenith Blade connects before the Arcane Shift, and Wacko is smackoed. He'll be burning down. It's not yet. He's not dead just yet. Arthur will be able to secure this one as Raze flashes forward, followed up by Aladoric, and it's Arthur that gets the kill first of the game for Chiefs.
All right, Chiefs not out of it quite yet. Aladoric getting on top of Wacko, finding that kill. Nicely done there. Getting it onto Arthur as well. Feels not bad, having a little bit more agency in the game to actually take potentially 2v2s around mid and top.
I mean, the gold is still, like, bang on even. The CS advantage for Tapoon in the top lane is a large part of that reason. The kill secured in the bottom lane will also unlock the first dragon. So 9 minutes in, just after that, this Mountain Drake will take a fair amount of time here for Arthur to solo it down. It is at the concession, or it is conceding the Rift Herald. And now we get to see Tower Dive mechanics. Come on, Tower Dive mechanics. Let's see. Pick up the aggro, drop it with that twisted advance.
All right, ult available for Tapoon. No flash, though. And we see Aladoric in range to try and back this one up.
There's a Hex flash forward. Slicing Maelstrom does little to nothing. Zenith Blade will at least stun up Hasha, and the aggro will not be reset. I wasn't quite sure if you picked that up, but how did it? Yeah.
Might have been just
Sapling, maybe?
W damage as well, potentially, if you pick it up. If no one else grabs the turret aggro while you're in that invulnerability phase, you will pick it up right away. So I believe that's what happened there for Hasha. Unlucky, but they do get the 1-for-1. Aladoric not going to be denied just because that first roam in the mid lane went bad. Still going all over the map.
The one thing I will say, which I'm really happy about between these two respective teams, they are anticipating one of those moves. So that mid lane dive onto Minji, beyond read it like a book, were able to respond. The dive up top onto Tapoon, Aladoric was already there. They at least get an even trade out of it. So there's a level of understanding here and a quality in strength. But look at that mini-map. Aladoric just making it to range.
Yeah, I really like it. The fact that they just got the kill on the bot side means that they don't need to help protect the dragon take by Arthur. So it goes up top side, lands a nice double ultimate there. Does end up being the 2-for-1, and there, I guess, just still grab the turret. Okay.
Wasn't able to get any autos down from the rest of the team, and that will mean 2 kills to 3, but the dragon secured is going to be advantageous. And I think crucial as well. It's a huge amount. Front line, and all of a sudden Tapoon is once again under third. His flash is just a couple seconds away. That's the flash twisted advance, and the flash from Tapoon is just a moment too late. No summoner spell available to him. A darkened blade from Liang sends Tapoon packing, and of course that's a substitute player. Keep in mind, Liang coming in 1-0-1. A little bit bullied, but doing just fine.
Yeah, so far, did go down in CS with all the attention. The other parts of the lane did give some extended laning to the Kennen, which is, like we said, something that is a little bit annoying for Aatrox if you're not being able to land a ton of sweet spots. But finally, Busha getting up there. They flash W from Maokai. Pretty unfair to have to deal with such a powerful gank.
I mean, it's just 2 screens away effectively, right, when you combine those 2 abilities. But it will once again put Beyond in the advantage. They were able to pick up the first couple of kills, get the first gold lead. It was bounced back from Chiefs, and now once again arrested. Minji's flash will be blown to get away from the Zenith Blade. Solar Blade doesn't connect onto anyone. The Crescent Guard has been hijacked and used. Minji saves his jungler's life, and the teleport comes out here from Liang. He had just recalled, I believe, and that will mean that no further action comes from it. But again, that's that indicator here from Chiefs. They want to force the fight. They're playing on the front foot. They're trying to use this composition that has a lot of go forward buttons to try to get and shut down Beyond.
Unfortunately, it was a 5-man commit, though, that Beyond were able to stuff out. Wacko was able to stay down on the bot side by himself, get a bunch of turret plays, also allowing this Rift Herald to come through for first turret of the game going in Beyond's favor, absorbing that 5-man pressure. Like you said, Minji having a great usage of the Xin Zhao ultimate.
I mean, that's the risk, right? The double-edged sword. Throwing everything in the kitchen sink at your enemy team. If that lands, great, you knock them out, you pick up an advantage. But you're already in a deficit. You at least have a dragon, so that's one step towards a win condition. When you don't get the kills, you can see the ultimates. You lose that bottom tower, and all of a sudden, this Ezreal that is, quietly scaling up. Minji's already 3-0, got a 300 gold bounty. The CS deficit that Liang was in is not only negated, he's got a kill and an assist to his name. So it's all starting to go Beyond's way. If you were to look at your crystal ball a little bit further into the game, Mark, do you prefer one composition sort of scaling? Let's say either just raw power or maybe ease of execution?
I would say a little bit both to Beyond Gaming. Power, obviously, I think Silas is gross, as I've made known. I think Aatrox scales well. I think that the Maokai does as well. But the other thing is it's very easy.
Find out. Flash away. Slicing Maelstrom. Solar Flare. SS. Suck! That engage did not work as Liang literally just dashes and flashes to safety.
Yeah, the E lands, but during that time that you're going out there, you can still get some abilities out. And so Aladoric had already kind of seemed like buffered his ultimate to go where the E landed, not to where the flash ended up taking him.
Yeah.
So unluckily not able to chain CC him. That means Kennen ult's not able to get on top of him exactly either.
If I were in game with Chiefs and you see these very small differences, because the almost exact same thing happened mid lane. Aladoric trying to jump on him, he didn't get the abilities down. It almost feels like there's too much aggression. There's take a breath, slow it down. Really make sure you layer your CC correctly, because there's so many tools here from Chiefs, but they're just firing haphazardly from the waist and not finding their target.
I think they're hungry to make a play happen.
Yes.
And you're up there, you have the resources committed. You saw again, during that time, Waka was just sitting mid, hitting them. You also had Minji down the bot lane during that time. And so not only are you eager to make a play just for your own mental state, but also the pace of the game, these other people have not committed to defending completely. And so Beyond able to get out of there by himself means that now he can, walk back up to this turret, keep defending it, and the rest of Beyond just keeps farming away.
Absolutely love that graphic just popped up. The turret plate secured. Beyond about plus 800 gold just from turret plates. That means their gold lead is just over 2,500 in the lead. Dragon secured here by Beyond. That's the Infernal. So now we're going to be playing on a Cloud Rift. 3 members of Chiefs make that 4 members of Chiefs are now continuing to pressure. Teleport is available for Minji. He's in the bottom lane. Zenith Blade won't find its target, nor will that Prey Seeker. And all of a sudden, Raze will just pop Kino, get the teleport as well. And all of a sudden, Waka's now looking for Arthur. Nature's Grasp thrown down. They engage. Flash over the wall. Pusher's now coming from behind. Minji has stolen that Solar Flare. Does so much damage. Minji's on a rampage. Got himself the 4th. Arthur and Tally running for their lives. Tapoon may be too late to the fray. Won't even fire that Slicing Maelstrom. And Liang is looking to end LCO's world. Picking up another 7 kills to 3. 3,000 gold up.
Beyond Gaming answer that play out. Yes, Chiefs were able to find the initial kill under the turret onto Kino, but already they were moving up to the top side. No way out. Arthur tried to fight his way out by hopping on top of Wako. Not able to quite do it, though.
Yeah.
A bunch more kills going in their favor. No major objectives really beyond this second Rift Girl that has just spawned, so gonna grab this one away for Beyond. We'll see where they want to use it. Probably gonna try and break mid lane turret.
This is where you start to get scared, though, Mark. 203 Aatrox, 401 Silas. I mean, look at the minimap just before I hand over. That split push pressure from Minji, he tried to come in, it didn't work out.
Yeah, you can see the teleport coming underneath the turret. He could have even gone for a nastier flank going onto the Tink wards in River instead, but wanted to make sure that the dive did not continue onto Liang. Wako moving up to the river. That's where you saw Arthur make the decision to hop on top of him, but already Hush is behind. There's just not a clear angle for them to take at all to try and survive this on the side of Chiefs. Very difficult, and you see the power of that Maokai so sticky once he's in the chase down sequence.
I've got this feeling in my stomach that, Beyond Gaming's advantages, most of them have come from punishing the overreaches from Chiefs. Do you think that's fair to say, or is it a bit of a stretch?
No, I think it's fair to say. I mean, there haven't been too many of their own dives. There's one on the top side, but at the same time, that was kind of what we were saying strategically made the most sense for the comp to do. Yeah, if you can get good vision out, see where the enemy's going to be going, and either choose to get up there and counter it or move away from it and just keep farming plates and things like that. I think Beyond Gaming's done a very good job of seeing all the plays coming and never being surprised, really. Always knowing what their decision was going to get them, whether that be farm, turret plates, or kills.
Man, 4,000 gold up already. 2.5 minutes until the next dragon spawns. And let's not disregard the fact that there is a lot of team fighting tools here from Chiefs, but that window or the difficulty with which you want to make that work into an Alistair, into the Maokai, into the Aatrox is going to be more difficult.
And this is one of the things that I was going to touch on when you were asking about, comp favorites. I really like when it's... Oh, hold on. Every time I try and talk about it, someone's going to die.
It's not the case, though. Let's find out. Liang will get caught by the Solar Flare. So Zenith Blade correction. Nicely done. This time round, Liang does get absolutely focused. Every single crowd control ability lands. Minion wave has been cleared out here by Raze, and Tally and Arthur may want to engage. The seismic shove was timed perfectly from Tally. So Liang, the only concession, but another cross map. Ninja and Beyond, they have an answer to the proactive plays of Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs still working their way back in the game. Getting the flash out of the Maokai out is pretty big. We'll see if that matters at all in a minute and a half when the Dragon comes up. He also committed his ultimate to zoning Raze away from the turret. It's very powerful and very nice to do that, but when the enemy teams collapse and they kill you, now you don't have that to peel for yourself to get out of there. That's one of the reasons he lost his flash.
So Mark, I think we will have a little bit of time here. Composition, Chiefs, what did you like about it?
Sturdiness.
Sturdiness.
How hard it is to actually insta-gib someone in terms of Maokai being very tanky, in terms of stopwatches and Zonias, or however Silas wants to build. He has a lot of build paths he can go to make sure that he is itemizing against the biggest threats. Double AP Soul Lane, Banshees make sense. So for Chiefs, the way that normally you get back in the game is we're going to find someone and blow them up with a Leona and a Kennen, and you're going to insta-give someone. But so many members on the side of Beyond are just hard to do that to. Even Ezreal is notoriously slippery. You have an ultimate that drops 50% damage reduction. Liang is the squishiest, easiest to do it to. That's why they're targeting him.
The observers have made it very, 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 very clear what was coming. If you're looking at that screen, we got a long-range zoom out. Liang stepped all the way forward. His flash was forced, but at what cost? What's happening? I mean, Herald's dropped mid, bottom's being shoved in. Chiefs can do one step, but not much more. So
I'm sure Beyond and Chiefs have both identified what I'm talking about, where it's like the easiest person to really make plays on is that Aatrox. Yeah, he has the Eclipse that makes him scary in drain tank situations, but 100 to 0 is very easy to take care of right now. And so Chiefs are trying to pick on the only real exposed member that they can kind of make these plays work onto.
I mean, when you think about it, right? Kennen, Shinzao, Kai'Sa, there is a lot of pretty high burst damage if they layer it together. Fortunately for them, Liang was too slippery that time around. Not in a position to contest, still behind. We're 20 minutes on the clock in just a moment. And the second Dragon here will be secured. And for Beyond, now that they've got, 37k under their belt, 2 Dragons under their belt, nearly 2 items across the board, it's just Minji there at the River Frost and the Banshee's Veil completed. Now we'll wait for Liang and Waka to pick up. They've got through the most difficult parts of the game for their composition, and they have the tools to both control, to engage, to disengage if they wanted to. And now when you see them start to play a little bit more on the front from practice, right now they're just punishing Chiefs with great cross-map plays. Yeah,
right now they're going to try and defend this turret. Still an overloaded side of the map for the Chiefs as, again, Liang, Wako is kind of leaving. Whoever's the side that gets overloaded by the Chiefs is kind of on their own island to fend for themselves. To your point, though, whenever they decide to start grouping up, they'll start being very annoying to deal with, walking into Mystic shots, walking into those saplings. We'll have to see how they want to deal with that.
Now, the thing is, if Beyond commit to a 1-3-1, if they do have Aatrox and Silas on the side lanes and you leave that mid lane to a little bit of sapling toss and Mystic shot clear, there is a lot of engaged tools that Chiefs are willing to throw. So Beyond cannot be caught off guard or by surprise. If they do go for that option, which I think you can see pretty frequently for the last few minutes, Chiefs are going to try to find a way into the game. And I've got this little comment I want to ask about. We'll see whether or not this engage plays out here. Arthur and Tally starting to back out. That's the engage from Hasha. Throws down that Chem tank. Not going to be able to find it just yet. But I haven't been able to get this comment out of my head. I saw on Reddit last night saying that the way that weaker teams can beat Asian teams is the way that we're seeing these emerging regions beating the likes of NA and EU respectively. Maokai. His ultimate is the single most powerful tool. Now, I'm embellishing the comment a little bit, but the point that I'm trying to make was that Nature's Grasp ultimate is so influential at, stopping flanks, stopping engages, kind of the zone control it gives you can be the difference maker. And I haven't had a chance to talk about it, so I'm just throwing it at you right now, live on air. What do you make of that concept philosophically?
I think it's a very strong ability. Is it enough to suddenly
close the gap?
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite that potent. It is situationally strong. I guess normally we say situationally strong, you talk about it only being good in one situation. I'm saying it's generally good.
Multiple, yeah.
You can use it for zoning off the turret like we saw. We can use it for disengage. You can use it for engage.
Like secondary engage more than primary, right?
Yeah, well, often what you do, I forget which Maokai I was watching, do it, but you, hold on here, Kino.
All right, he's going to jump on. Takes a little bit of damage there from Arthur and Raze. Weaver's wall comes in, insta-stun, goes golden. Tally might just get whacked in the river as Wacko's now continue to chase him down. Minji going low, 304 HP left. Aladark stays alive. 1, 2 more members. 3 are falling, and Beyond Gaming are looking for the ace. Raze is firing as he runs for the hills. It's 3 members killed by Beyond.
Beyond Gaming reacts once again to the Chiefs' aggression, trying to jump on top of Kino, but like I was saying, for support, he's a notoriously tanky champion on the Alistar. Gave them time to react and collapse on top of them. The Baron situation still a little dicey, but with this teleport coming back in, should stop Tapoon and Raze from being able to do anything.
Minji picked up that hourglass as well, and as it stands, that might just be the final nail in the coffin for Chiefs for the LCO. They lose this, they are eliminated from playoffs. It is a significant deficit to be in, and compositionally, there are a lot of reasons to favor what you're seeing from Beyond.
Yeah, absolutely the case, especially with that Baron buff on now. They've been 1-3-1 this entire time. Here it is, Kino stepping forward. They're trying to blow him up to half his health after committing a fair amount of resources already. Gives time for all these plays to come in. It was a little dicey. Minji coming in from the flank, a little bit ahead of the rest of the teleports, kind of giving himself up as a target to almost die, but the fact that he stole the ultimate from the Xin Zhao, able to stay alive a little bit longer once he got that off, and give the angle for the rest of his team to find that chase down.
When you see the HP bars, Mark, they're so, like, it feels like it's so close. It feels like that Slicing Maelstrom combination plus the Raze as well as Tally damage did a lot. But they're behind in gold, they're on the retreat as well, and unfortunately their initiation attempts, time after time, did not garner them the opportunities they wanted, and maybe the opportunities they needed. So now they find themselves in this gigantic deficit, 40 seconds as well, until the Cloud Drake is up, and that'll put Beyond onto Soul Point. It's just starting to look like the Chiefs' run at Worlds will be eliminated from playoffs. Now they still have one more game to play tomorrow, and looking to play Heartbreak will be all that's left for them.
I mean, you can always play Upset.
Oh, yes.
We'll see if they can do it. It was against North America MSI 2021, where Pentanet boomed C9 out of the MSI knockout stage.
And there's that incredibly versatile ultimate once again from Hutch, and they just got thrown down. Tower is secured. Beyond have had all the answers all game long. They've managed to counter-punch every single one, and with Baron empowered minions in this bottom lane, they're now looking for their second inhibitor tower. Chiefs, they don't have the go button yet. Caught out! The hijacked solar flare blinds the Aussies and sends them to the fountain. 2 members left, Tally and Raze, Young's keeping them busy as the minions are now being ushered through the middle lane as well. Sidestep from Raze, 5 versus 2 against Baron-empowered minions. Beyond Gaming looking to eliminate the LCO, looking to pick up their second win of the play-in stage. And they are finally picking up that second Nexus turret. It has been a fairly one-sided affair. Beyond eliminate Chiefs from knockouts.
They eliminate the Chiefs, and Beyond get one step closer to securing themselves that playoff spot to try and make the group stage, getting up to 2 wins.